Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Your video is paused. Everyone, please. Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All
Can
right.
you hear me and see me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I can see you. How have you been?
I've been good. How are you?
Good, good. I've been good too. Right. So, do we begin?
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. So, we'll begin in another minute. Right.
All right.
Right. Kinza, you may begin.
A very good evening to everyone. There's a powerful driving force inside every human being that, once unleashed, can make any vision, dream, or desire a reality. I, Kinza Rahman, on behalf of the entire team of Avas Foundation, extends a warm and heartfelt welcome to one and all present here. We at Avas Foundation envision the world as a just and equitable place where the underprivileged no longer feels directionless. In a society that always hits those at the bottom of the economic pyramid, the hardest whenever a crisis hits. We aim to bridge the gaps of inequality on all levels through optimistic spirit and unwavering efforts. As we know that June is the Pride Month, it is a month that dedicated celebrating the LGBTQ plus community all around the globe. The Pride Month is celebrated in commemoration of Stonewall riots, which kicked off the first major demonstration for gay rights in America. But unfortunately, due to the COVID 19 pandemic and social distancing still in place, things will be a little different this year. But we believe that these things shall not hinder our celebration, and therefore we will be celebrating Pride virtually this year with our esteemed guest speakers who have joined us today. Now, I would like to call Ms. Laiba Rahman, founder of the Avas Foundation, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Kinza. Hello, everyone. I would like to extend a hearty welcome to everyone for joining our Pride Month webinar. Gay Pride Month or LGBT Pride is the promotion of the self affirmation, dignity, equality, increased visibility of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people as a social group. Pride, as opposed to shame and social stigma, it is the predominant outlook that bolsters most LGBT rights movements. But we're happy to organize this webinar as a means to promote and to have a platform to discuss and talk about such an imperative topic. Thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the session. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our guest speaker, Alex Matthew, also known as Maya the Drag Queen, for taking out time from their busy schedule and joining us today. Maya the Drag Queen is an Indian drag performer, actor, and singer. They are an LGBTQIA plus influencer in India and a TED speaker. Over to you.
Hi, Laiba. Thank you so much for having me over. I'm so honored and so thrilled to be part of this session. To tell you about more about what my journey, I can start off with, for 25 years of my life, I was actually stuck in a closet. I was basically because of my religion. If you go look at my name, you understand what religion was brought up in. And being coming from a place like Kerala, I have been, living in a very conservative society at the same time. So it was when I was in 11th or 12th standard that I came across a competition, and that happens in every school, and it is called a fancy dress competition. And I had this whole hidden desire to actually take part in this competition, but I didn't want to dress up as a masculine person because it was according to my gender. But I wanted to like dress up as if famously in Bollywood the movie is known as Bulbuleya, but in Malayalam it's known as Manichitrathar, where the actress who played the title role was Shobna, and she's a great renowned dancer. So with that, I went on stage and I did my performance as her, where with the help of my friends and everyone around. And to my surprise, I won the first prize. So that itself was a sign from universe saying that this is my path, this is what I should do. However, due to how it is with parents, they want you to focus on studies. So I went on to do my graduation, then I did my post graduation, and then I started working in Hyderabad around 2011. That is when I have this theater bug. I'm a theater geek at heart, and I really wanted to perform in theater. And that is when I met a lot of people from the Hyderabad theater fraternity, and I started performing. Whenever I got a chance, I used to help them in backstage, and also whenever I get a chance, I would audition. And the theater fraternity was very open to who I was, even if I had this effeminate demeanor and having this thick Mallu accent. They were okay with me. They wanted me to perform, and that is what they actually wanted me to give a platform. So I was there for till 2012, and then I shifted to Bangalore. Now in Bangalore, the theater fraternity is very close knit. They don't let outside people so easily in unless you're very, very talented. So whenever I was going for auditions, they would used to say, "Oh, you don't fit into the role of being you know um, a male protagonist or a male supporting role. You have this effeminate side of you, so it won't be great for you to take this part." Because I was a singer, they used to always put me in the chorus line, or to sing in the choir and all of that. So I was like, why is this happening? And also there was this veteran actress who kept telling me that, okay, you have this thick Malayali accent, give me 6 months and I'll neutralize your accent. And I'm everything, whatever people were saying, they were just telling me about, oh, this is your problem, this is your problem. But I was like, I don't find this my problem. So that's when I felt stagnated and I started watching movies. So I came across this movie called as Mrs. Doubtfire. And when I saw Robin Williams, performing so wildly as a drag queen in that movie, I was like, if Robin Williams can do it, I can do it too. And that is when I started making Maya and started, making her as a character. A lot of people nowadays, they don't see a difference between a drag persona as a character and then as Alex. So they always give importance to Maya. So I'm like, I created Maya. I can destroy her. I can create her. I can create different forms of her. So that is the beauty of drag, right? Drag is all about shape-shifting, and it's just an art form. You don't have to mix with gender and sexuality. Um, and with that, I started my public debut performance on September 2014, where I wore my mother's sari and blouse and went on stage and performed to a Malayalam song and danced to Kajrare from the movie Bantiya Bablu. And rest you can say is history. So then I got so much of chances to perform and so many offers to do documentaries, photo shoots, all of that. Now, coming to me as a queer person, I came out on October 2014. I wrote a long email to my parents because they were not ready to listen to me face to face. And their reply was dramatic as all Indian parents. So they were like, my mom was like, I don't care about your sexuality, but drag is not okay. my dad was like, sexuality is a sin, but drag is okay if you get paid for it. So I realized that they were actually having two opposite points of view, and I thought I'd give them space. But eventually, we were just hurting each other, and we were just going each other's throat whenever we got chance. And we realized that we have to, come together to realize what we are going through. And that is when my parents moved to Bangalore on March 2016. And even then, the journey wasn't so easy. They were really struggling to understand about me. They're not able to understand me fully. It was when the repeal of Section 377 happened that my parents understood me better, or they understand where I was coming from. And with that, my mom started helping me with me doing, like she would say, oh, this lipstick color is not right, or you're not wearing that properly, let me help you. You're not packing properly, let me help you. So from where she said I should not do drag to for helping me get into being a drag queen, she helped me a lot. So coming to what I do nowadays is that I actually realize that a lot of people don't know anything about the LGBT community, or don't know anything where don't realize that we're just human beings. And that is when I started like going to schools, going to colleges, giving. So if you go to my TEDx talks, you will see that all my TEDx calls are taking place in colleges, because I wanted to emphasize that sex education and education about the LGBT community needs to be, it should be imparted. It has a part of course at least, and that is exactly what I did through my TEDx talks. And even going to schools, I go and perform for kids, and they ask me questions from, "Are you a trans woman? What is that on your head? Oh, if it's a wig, take off your wig." So all those questions I was able to answer, and uh, that was my focus basically. I was using drag as a medium to communicate people about the community, and that is exactly what I've been doing for so long. I started even going to corporate spaces. I think I would be the almost first drag queen to MC for a corporate award show. And I did that. I went on corporate spaces and give talks about the LGBT community. So that's all my work. And then, there are other parts of the work where I got featured in Vogue 2019, GQL, you name it, I'm everywhere. So this is my journey in what you say in such a short span of time. So, but if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me, so I'll answer it.
Right. So all those who have questions, please raise your hand through the Zoom application, and um, we'll start taking it. Before anyone, in fact, I would want to ask a question. So there must have been times where you would have thought that no, I mean, I would give up on all of this. And considering that initially your parents had different opinions about what you exactly are and how you presented yourself. So when you actually reach that point of saturation, and you were like, no, I want to give up now, what did you do to overcome that?
So I there is this incident that happened in my life where basically when I'm a drag queen, I went for performing, and during the performance, due to technical difficulties, it was really horrible. Like I couldn't move any part of the stage because the mic was giving so much of feedback, and I felt that was the most horrible, or one of the horrible performance that I uh, got in my life. So I was like really disheartened, and then I just was sitting with my friends. There was this boy who came to me and he said, you know, I love you, I adore you, and I find you inspiring. Please don't stop this. Please continue this because I find you very inspiring. So whenever I have this moments of what I'm just going to drop everything. I'm just going to stop everything and just walk out or destroy Maya as you know it. This incident keeps coming, and I'm like I it is giving me that hope so that I can move forward, or the gumption to move forward. So like, I hope that I answered your question.
That does, in fact, that's quite inspirational. And I mean, we should all learn how to overcome all our bad times, because when we overcome our bad times is the point of time when we are able to achieve. And that's what we learn from you. Right. So we'll be having the next question from Bhavanshi.
Yeah, hello, sir. It's a pleasure to talk to
Hi.
you here. And my
Same here.
question to you is, you have been through a lot in your journey and have overcome a lot of things in your journey. So, what will be your advice to people who face the same discrimination and the same prejudices that surround them? So, how can they be so safe in their sexual identity when they come out of the closet? So, what will be your advice to them?
So I'll tell you something where it was applicable to my life. So I don't know if it will be applicable to everyone's life. So I chose to wait till I became independent, because the moment you come out of the closet when you're dependent, right, you are going to face friction with your family, because family will be like, they start threatening you. They say that I won't give you money and you have to fend for yourself, all of that, or kick you out of the house, all of that. So what I did was, when I got a job and when I realized about myself, I had the, you can say, luck that where I could come out, and so my circumstances were really different when it comes to children of this age, or children, younger generation, when they're coming out of the closet. So my advice to them is either be bold, be kind to yourself, because see, when you come out of the closet, it's a new thing. You face trauma being in the closet. You have so much of battles that you had to do. So coming out of the closet is a great thing, but at the same time, you need to safeguard yourself. Or don't listen to what others say, even if they tell you this is the right way, this is the right path, or whatever. You follow your own voice, your own inner voice telling you that, okay, this is, I feel this is the right way. This is how I should go about. And just follow that. And, I'm telling you, it will lead you to where you are destined to go, your, pathway, or your purpose in life. So I hope that that answers your question.
Yes, sir, sure does. And thank you for the pure words.
Thank you, Vanshi. We'll be having Hina as we'll be taking your
Uh,
question.
hi. So it's a pleasure to have you here. And my question to you is, since you have talked about the LGBTQ at various places for colleges and corporate talks, so why do you feel there is a need to tell people, like, what is lacking, like in the education system, or what changes do you think can be done so that people, when they grow up, they know things like it, like, because even if the college people are not knowing things about LGBTQ, they are not well educated. So what can be done differently into the education system, and what other changes can be done according to you? So, like, what all things can be done
Okay,
differently?
so this is a long question, a long answer that I'm going to say, because the need for education, because transphobia and homophobia is, you need to understand where it stems from. It stems from ignorance or not knowing about anything about the LGBTQIA community. So the need to actually tell people, listen, where they're coming from, the history behind it. Like, I'm pretty sure most of you don't won't know the Hijra community, or basically the Hijra culture, was actually given reverence, so they were given really amazing importance during the Mughal Empire. They were actually the guards for the queen's harem. So if you go back to history, right, you just, like, if you ever have the chance to go to Khajuraho temple in Madhya Pradesh, you will see everything about the LGBT community is carved in stone. So when it's carved in stone, that means it existed for centuries altogether. Now, if you go to Kama Sutra, the book which has been famous in West, but it's not used in India that much, um, has documented evidence about the LGBTQIA community. So if you go back to history, right, you'll see that we were a free-flowing society. The only problem that we face is when we had Britishers turn up to India and destroy, the whole crux of how our society was functioning. If you go back to history, I'm pretty sure there was a video by Shashi Tharoor where he said that we were at the really highest peak of GDP before Britishers came and started just looting our resources. Same way, they started looting our morality resources, where we were actually a very free-flowing, functioning society, free of sexuality, free of gender identity. We used to actually happy with whoever the way they were. Just that Britishers came in, they used Bible as a moral code, saying that no, this is not written in the Bible, so we have to you have to behave like the other people. Like why are the trans or the Hijra community the downtrodden part of the society? Because the Britishers put them in that position. So even so, if you go back to history, you realize how so the reason why I'm emphasizing on education is that for the younger generation, they know about the history, they know that we are human beings, they know our struggles of how we went through to get to a point where we were repealing Section 377. So if you look at it, we at the Delhi High Court actually said, no, you are all human beings, you are not supposed to be criminals. Then it was squashed by the Supreme Court in 2013 or something like that. And then after that, in 2018, Supreme Court said, listen, you are all are human beings. We are not treating you as criminals. And this can't be changed by any government. So that is how that landmark judgment happened. So the reason why education is very important is so that there is no aspect of homophobia and transphobia, which is very, like if you go to YouTube, if you go to Instagram, if you go to Facebook, you will see if there is a video about acceptance or about same-sex love or any Pride Month video, you will see there'll be a bunch of comments where it will be hatred against the community. Why? Because it stems from ignorance. And that is the very reason why we need education in the first place.
Thank you for answering my question. It totally makes sense.
Anytime.
Thank you. So the next question we'll be having is from Kritika. Kritika, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Kritika.
I hope you and your family is doing great and safe in this pandemic time. So my question for you is, at what age did you first realize that you belong to the LGBTIQ community, and what has it been like for you after coming out or transitioning to yourself and to others?
So when I realized, I think I was teenager, because usually that is when people realize about their sexuality. Just that I kept suppressing because of my religion, because I was living in a society where LGBT community is, seen as, no, they are not human beings. So I didn't come out till when I turned 25. And when I came out, I felt free because there was this whole burden that has been lifted off me. And at the same time, I realized that I needed help. Now, the problem we are facing also within the community is that we see mental health as a taboo. No, nothing will happen to me. I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. But actually, we have also gone through a lot of traumas in our life. So we need to go and meet a therapist, talk it out, find a way. So I did that. And then transition. The reason why I keep sharing my story, the reason why I'm here, is that there would be someone like me who wants to come out of the closet, but they are not seeing that there are people like me around, or they feel alone. So because that's what I felt when I was in the closet. So that is exactly the reason and why I'm transitioning from being myself into others, because I want to share my story, and in a way that a lot of people get inspired to, it's not just coming out of the closet, to be at least themselves. Like, we are living in a society where a lot of people are living behind masks, and that is something which is not right, according to me. That's my opinion. So that's the reason why I keep sharing my story. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, definitely it answers my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anytime.
The next question we have is from Kinza.
Yes. So I wanted to ask that have you ever come across people who have misunderstood drag or associated it with something else rather than art? Can you please explain what it means?
You mean drag is an art form?
Yes, and how did you overcome if people were not understanding what it means or what you're feeling?
First of all, if you are asking me from the hatred point of view, I actually ignore them. I actually ignore, mute, block, delete. These are the four options that I do whenever I meet hatred online. Because see, offline people are really scared to meet me because I am intimidating, and also at the same time, people get scared when they see a 6 foot tall, a man performing as a drag queen. So they can only do it through social media. So whenever I come across such hatred, I don't want to engage because you know why? I'd rather focus on positivity rather than negativity. Yes, negative comments are, we face negative comments. Everyone faces negative comments. But it's all up to you that what you want to take out of it. Do you want to like use it as a gumshoe to like achieve what you want to do, and at the same time you can refuse to engage. You're like, you know what, they are coming from a place of hurt, and you don't have to get into that whole space because you're okay with who you are, and that is all it matters. So I have placed hatred from online dating apps where people keep saying, oh, so you are a transphobe. They look at me and they say you are a trans, and I'm like, no, I'm not a transphobe. Oh, so you're a full-time prostitute. I said, no, I'm not. You need to Google who's a drag queen. And that is exactly what people need to do, because that's why I was emphasizing that people need to get educated because they don't know anything about the LGBT community. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it definitely does.
Thank you, Kinza. We have the next question from Shubhika.
Hello. Like
Hi.
I wanna ask, like in a professional environment, many people face this problem. So, do you think we can promote positive and a healthy environment?
Face what problem? I didn't understand the question. Like what problem did you face, or what problem people face of being a drag queen or being a queer
Yeah,
person? Is that what you said?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so see, I started working in 2011, and it's been 10 years. So I've done 6 jobs in my 10 years. I think in those 10 years, I think the most accepting job that I've done is with the Lalit Group of Hotels. All the other jobs, I felt like people, they just couldn't play, but they were just couldn't understand, or they just couldn't understand why is this happening to this person, or what is the need, or they don't see a person as a what is their skill resource that they want to retain. So that is something which I realized, is a problem in all the places I was working. So Lalit Group of Hotels ensured that I have the safe space, I have a very good working environment where I can express myself, and at the same time I can be as Alex. Like so. What used to happen is in the whole week I can be as Alex, working and all of that. And on one particular day, that's on Thursday night, I go and perform as a drag queen on Thursday night in a nightclub, which is in Lalit Hotel itself. For me, I felt like, wow, this is such a great way to actually heal whatever hurt I faced in my corporate career. And this actually, that was literally my last corporate job. And then after that, I started doing things as the drag queen. And till date, it has been very fruitful. So, it's all about how corporate people give you the safe and positive working environment.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Maybe taking the next question from Vedant. Vedant, please go ahead.
Hi Alex, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. So, my question to you is that how did you, cope up with the rejection as well as discrimination faced in the society?
It is hard, to be honest. I have gone through depression due to that, and I came to a point where I realized that rejection is part of your life. You can't unless you have like a manager or someone to give you the best of the opportunities possible, and you know for the fact that you are going to achieve it really well, then only you are going to have your pathway cleared. You have a really straightaway path. But as a struggling queer artist, I have faced rejections in all parts of my life, like going from, say, being part of a documentary that was actually supposed to go on DD Doordarshan or Prasad Bharati, where I did the entire thing what they told me to, like from my performance to my documenting my life, everything was done. But in the end, they said no, the channel rejected my documentary. So you can imagine how that rejection starts from hurt, right? So then I realized, you know what? If one door closes, there's another window of opportunity that opens, and that is exactly what I keep thinking. So we face this; it's a part and parcel of life, but we need to know how to deal with it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vedant, for the question. And thank you for an amazing answer. We'll be taking the next question from Lippy. Lippy Jain.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
So my question is like, what piece of advice would you like to pass on to the youngsters who have just recognized or realized that they are a part of the LGBTQ community, and how should they come over the fact that they are now a part of this community, and how should they achieve whatever they desire in their life, whatever they desire for?
First of all, I would tell them to actually be bold, be kind to oneself, and also don't listen to what others tell you about yourself, because you are the only one who knows about you, the real you. And when they come out, like I said earlier, that please go and seek help. If you feel like you need help, go and seek help. Please don't think mental health as a taboo. So please go and seek help when you can. And then, the important part of our community is that we need to keep sharing our story, because you never know whose story is going to inspire, someone. So I think you should just keep saying your journey of how you went through, what you went through, and that would inspire someone like me. I'm telling my story to all of you. So if this inspires you, and I'm pretty sure it will inspire a lot of people to come out and they can share their story. One example I give you. So I had this session called as Human Library, where I had to be a book, and the people would, I say something about myself, a part of my, career or my life, and then they ask questions about, what happened and exactly. So one boy came sad, and then he started opening up that, he was going through conversion therapy, where his parents were actually trying to convert him to be straight. And I felt the boy needed help, and immediately I put him in touch with people so that he gets the help that is required, because I felt like he needed it. He's not openly saying it, but I felt like he needed it. After 1 or 2 years, I came back to Human Library, and I see this boy is a book, because he got inspired by what I said or about my life, and he's sharing his story of his life. So that is really important. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Lippy.
Anytime.
Right. So, Hina, you would like to ask a question. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to know, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are.
So I would like to know that what has been the one turning point in your life that changed the entire perspective, or maybe like that gave you the courage to pick up drag as your, uh, as your career and move ahead with it. Apart from that dance competition thing that you fancy dress competition thing that you talked about, is there anything else that you would like to tell us, or any incident that you would like to talk about?
I would say my first TEDx speech that I gave, and it was in Delhi. So the college didn't give me a place to stay, and I had to stay with a friend's place. And the college said they don't have a space for me to get ready and all of that. And I had to get ready in my friend's place at say about 8 o'clock. Or no, actually I started getting ready at 5 because my call time was at 8. And I went so you can imagine, no, I'm almost new in the city, and I'm going in the cab, and this college is really far away from where my friends were staying, and I go there in drag. So you can imagine, I reached there, and it's a first TEDx talk, no. So I'm literally like my heart is going like that is going, okay. Uh, but the moment I entered the stage, the moment I had the mic in my hand, I just took control. I just there was like a different person taking control and just saying it. That for me, I felt that was my turning point in my life, where I was like taking charge. Literally, like you see in these movies, no, war movies, where the hero, the heroine goes in the chariot. I felt like that. So that was my turning point in my life, where I was like, I felt this was my purpose of telling my life, talking about my life, talking about my journey, inspiring students to actually talk more about the LGBTQ community, or give them chance to speak. And that is something which turned my life completely.
That's really great to know. Also, I have one follow-up question to this. So, since you have talked about educating people on LGBTQ, so do you think like people are accepting these views, or they're just like listening and forgetting them? Do you see a change happening? And what are the ways in which we can, educate people to actually accept people as equal and as human beings above all?
Um, going with your question, like a lot of people keep asking me, does it make an impact? I'll tell you one incident that made an impact. I went to a school. A school had like this days where there's a dress up day, and one boy chose to dress up in a sari, and all the boys made fun of him of dressing up in a sari. So I loved how the process of the teachers went thinking. They were like, you know what, they're making fun of him. Let's bring in a person from the LGBTQI community to talk about this. And exactly that's what happened. So they brought in an artist who actually specializes in, talking about the community through his art. His session was first, and the second was me performing. So, like I saw a lot of change where the children was open. See, like if you realize children, they have an open mind. They're not conditioned certain way, saying about how a person should be or how an LGBTQI person should be. It's all conditioned by parents telling them, no, 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 this is wrong, So it all starts, everything starts from home. So if or home or school or college, where you are being taught, like this is wrong, this is wrong. Why can't you say accept people as human beings? That is the first step that they have to do. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that answers my question. And so, according to you, it should start from our homes only, and we should educate people and our surroundings, our parents, even if they are not agreeing. So we should tell them, no, we
Yeah,
are all equal.
so I tell you, our parent generation, they've been conditioned so much that they have hatred towards the community. But if you explain it from an angle where they are human beings and we are supposed to give them respect, like I'll tell you an incident where, I'm going in a cab and I'm going to office, and I saw a trans woman come, and she was obviously going to each car and begging. So she comes to my car, and I've seen her in other places in the community, and I spoke to her in English because she knows how to speak in English, and I said, so I'll see you at this place, this place. The cab driver was shocked. He was like, what? She knows how to speak English? I said, yeah, they have degrees and all of that, and they come from a space where they are they know everything, but just that our society has been putting them down. So if you give a chance to an LGBT community person to speak about or give them voice, what you need to do is empower them, give them a chance to speak, like you're giving me a chance to speak here, so that all of you know what my life is all about. And that I'm really grateful for that. So same thing you need to do with everyone. Understand where they're coming from, and you will see a great difference in their life.
Thank you so much, sir. It makes a lot of sense, and it gives us a lot of different perspective also. And I really, really appreciate your thoughts. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. So we have the next question from Vrinda. Vrinda, please go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so my question is that we have seen every year in this Pride month in June, these big corporates, they come ahead and sort of, sell merchandise, commodify and commercialize this entire movement, like claiming they're allies, and they aren't in real because they don't do anything to bring like any tangible change. All they want is to cash on the community and like earn a lot of money. So do you think this sort of like selling these merchandise etc has done anything good for this community, or like what's your opinion on this sort of a pink capitalism?
So I'm against it because unless you're giving the proceeds to a charitable organization which is connected to the community, I don't see a point in it, to be honest. And I've been a victim to it. I've been a victim to pink capitalism. Coming to a point where I have done campaigns for Tinder and Bumble, and now I'm banned in all those apps because I put my drag queen pictures. So you can understand where they function from, it's all about show. It's all about glitz and glamour and show. But inside the app, they still have people who are homophobic and transphobic. And people from the community are not ready to listen to them. So then what is the point of having all this, rainbow colored, I'm changing my DP to rainbow. No, it doesn't make sense. Are you, I know for the fact that there was a big shopping brand that did an ad on a drag queen. But are you ready to do a gender neutral changing room, or are you ready to give clothes which is very towards the okay? Can I just walk into that shopping brand and then taking something for me to perform it? No, you will never see a dress that is meant for a drag queen. You can see my shoulder size; it is large, or you can say on the lines of XL. So I can't find a woman's clothing which is for me, which will look good in me. It's always tailored to cisgender people. And that is something which is the problematic so Pride month I made it a point this month that I don't do panel discussions, I don't do Instagram lives, because I see tokenism happening. Like a lot of people coming into and saying, oh, I find you inspiring, I find you I've been following your work. like I know for the fact that they don't follow me because I can see if they're following me. And also like they would have followed me, but few seconds before they would have followed. So I'm like, this is tokenism. Why would I do anything for you? So I know how to what is the word to use? Skim the people who are tokenistic and go to people who are actually real and who actually want to, hear my voice. So give me a voice, and I only focus on that.
Thank you
And
so much. And I also think that it's high time we should call out like these corporates for doing this.
please do. Like I literally recently, so some idiot, I don't know who did it, went to my Wikipedia and wrote that I'm a Tinder celebrity from India. And I literally laughed over it, and I tagged Tinder, knowing that I can say my friend actually tagged me, and I said, how can that be possible when I'm banned in Tinder? And I tagged Tinder India also. Tinder India just liked my story. They didn't have anything to say. They didn't want to do any action from their end. They just liked my story. So, if you see something like this happen on social media, or some LGBTQ community person is doing this, amplify their voice, share on their story, tag the brand, say what the hell is happening, why are you doing this to a person from the community? Your rainbow, whatever you're doing, whatever changing rainbow colors and all of that doesn't matter, but you are not supporting the community. You should call them out, and it's very important to call them.
Thank you so much. And in fact, I would also like to, mention this, since you said that you would like to share your views with um, people who genuinely want to listen to you. So in that case, we're highly grateful to you that, you've joined us today, because it means a lot. It really, really means a lot. Taking out time from your busy
Thank you.
schedule, joining and sharing your views. And in that case, also answering all the questions. Um, Thank you from my heart.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime. I'm glad I'm able to come and share my story and at least inspire, one or two people. I don't have, my purpose is not to inspire everyone. I mean, that is not possible, but at least inspire one or two people. That's what my aim is. And I hope I've done it.
No, you surely have. Believe us. We'll have the next question from Kritika. Kritika.
Okay, so hello again. So my next question is, do you only identify as a woman when you are in drag? If so, what's the key piece that makes you feel so?
So I'm going to correct you. I perform as a drag queen. I can't be a woman because I'm just character of being a woman. So I can't be like I will like to say that a lot of times when a person does not understand who is a drag queen, I keep telling them, listen, a man becoming a woman on stage for performance. That's how I have to break it down to them. But just understand that drag queen means a man performing as a woman, and we are not impersonating. We are not making fun of women. We are becoming like a woman on stage. Just that after that performance is done, then everything is removed, and you're back to being a cisgender male, basically. So that is how I am. And answering you, I hope I answered your question, or do you want me to answer anything?
No. It completely answers my question. In fact, thank you so much
Okay.
for making me understand it better.
Okay, anytime.
Thank you, Kritika. So we have the next question from Kinza. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, I would like to ask that what advice would you like to give to the people who don't have any platform or resources around them to come out? Like people who are from the villages and backward areas can also and are a part of the community but don't have anywhere to start from. So what do they do in that case?
So this it's not an advice, but I'm going to observe or see what I've observed for a long time. A lot of people from the rural areas, what they do is they move to metropolitan cities because metropolitan cities are very accepting in terms of being coming from the community. and that is how they get the voice, and that's how they get, like, I know a lot of people who are from the areas of like Haryana or UP, Noida, all of those places. Or Noida is actually part of Delhi. I'm sorry. So, or UP as in Varanasi and all of those places where they come from those places and they shift to a city like Delhi. And say the same thing happened with me. I was living in Kerala, and technically Cochin, it was not a great city back then when I started. It was just becoming a city. And from there, I shifted to Bangalore because I felt I'll be more open here. I was even working in Hyderabad, and Hyderabad being also a big city, it was very conservative city, so I couldn't come out there also. But Bangalore being a very cosmopolitan city where LGBT community people are accepted, I felt acceptance here. So this is what is the usual thing of people when they come from villages. And usually they come either to study or either to work. That is the usual case. What I tell them is that you come out when you're not around your family. That's what I usually tell. Because the moment you come out when you're dependent, it's going to even hit you harder. When you're independent, you can actually, stay, give your family some space till they realize that, they love you for who you are. So they can't just say, oh, you are not my son or you're not my daughter. There are the extreme cases like that, but eventually they come around.
Right. Thank you, Kinza.
Thank you so much.
For the question. In fact, I have one question. I mean, after a series of discussion, there's one question, which I have, and I've like just jotted it down. So, we have right now, like currently, we've now understood that yes, drag queen is this, and there were a lot of miscomprehensions initially with this term, but now we're well versed with it since you've guided us and you've explained us. So, what does being a drag queen allow to do or express when you're performing that you normally wouldn't do?
So everybody, including you, has a masculine and feminine side. We all have that. For me, I have this beautiful feminine side that I love to portray, and that is exactly what I do on stage when I go. Like, I've heard people tell me that, oh my God, you wear. Like, I've heard women tell me, you wear sari far better than me. And I'm like, oh, really? Do I? Thank you so much. That's a compliment. So it's not just about the clothes, right? It's about how you go on stage, and there's this larger than life personality that you go on stage and you portray. So then you realize, oh my God, this is something different. This you don't see in any other performances. So that is exactly what I do on stage. Like, imagine drag is all about shape shifting. And giving you an example, where one night, there would be a tribute to Madhuri Dixit, so I perform as Madhuri Dixit. After a few weeks, I'll have a tribute to Sri Devi, so I perform like Sri Devi. So, and next would be a Malayali woman. Next few weeks, may I can perform as an old woman. That is the beauty of being a drag performer. So it's not just me, it's only me being a drag queen. Even women can dress up as a man, and and they're known as drag kings. I want all of you to go and watch this old song, Kacharara Mohabbat Wala, the old song, not the new one. Please don't go to the new one, but the old one. If you go to the old one, you will see that the woman who's playing is actually a drag queen, and the man playing is actually a drag king. So we have been, performing drag as an art form for centuries altogether. So, I mean, I hope that I answered your question.
That did answer my question. And in fact, we've got to learn a lot from your experiences. And it's not about that, you being a part of the community, or it's for us, for all of us, for the whole Avas Foundation team, and for everyone who's joined us and who's watching us live on Facebook. Just want to let everyone know that we need to learn from the experiences. And rather than a person being what they are, we need to learn from how they have become so. So, I mean, and we've successfully right now I feel that there are a lot of things which all of us need to understand, and for becoming anything in life we need to overcome our obstacles. And listening, and we've actually gotten inspired by you. Listening to you makes us feel confident in ourselves, and I'm sure that the same for everyone else. So, I mean,
Thank you so much.
thank you for
Thank you so much.
it was
I'm honored. I'm so grateful that I can actually come and share my story, and it brings change to people altogether.
right. So is there anyone else who has any questions?
Laiba ma'am, if I could.
Oh yeah, please go ahead. I think I can't see your hand raised. I'm sorry, I couldn't see.
Yeah,
Right.
no problem. It's okay. Sir, so, my question is that when you perform as a drag queen, there is a change in your personality. You feel different when you perform as a drag queen. So, do you think that being a drag queen is gives you the feeling that you can't, have and go through while you do not perform as a drag queen? So, what are the differences that you have, like while performing as a drag queen and while not being a drag queen?
So I keep saying that Alex and Maya are the same people, and there's no difference basically. Just that when I go on stage, I'm magnified. So initially, when I started performing, what I was lacking as Alex was the confidence of going into spaces and just performing my heart out. That was something which I was lacking as Alex, and eventually, I think I've learned to actually merge all of it together. And as Maya, I think, there were times when I am very intimidating. When I come on stage or when I meet someone, there is this whole wall. And the reason why I put this wall is because, Lord, you never know from where this homophobia comments and all of that just comes flying to you. And you as a performer, you need to protect your side where you are, the only purpose is to perform on stage. So you don't have to deal with such negativity. So that is something which I keep thinking about, in Maya. Like there are times when a lot of people say, "Oh my God, I'm scared of you," and I'm like, "Why? Why are you scared of me? I'm not going to hurt you." No, just that you give that whole persona, just give that aura of, you can't touch me, right? So I'm like, no, that's not how I am in real life. Actually, you can come and talk to me, you can chat with me, joke with me, that sort of thing. So these are the things that I face in my drag career. This whole thing about, confidence, people finding me intimidating, people find me, they're scared. But eventually, when they hang out with me, they're like, "Oh, you are okay. You are just like us." That's sort of the thing. So yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Bhavanshi. Kinsa, over to you.
I, Kinza Rahman, on behalf of Abbas Foundation, would like to extend a hearty vote of thanks to Alex Matthew, Maya the Drag Queen, for such an insightful and interactive session. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank all our sponsors for their support and my volunteers for helping me organize this session. Last but not the least, I thank all the attendees for participating in this webinar. We are grateful for having this session where we could come together and talk about and discuss openly, hoping that we all take something really helpful from this webinar.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was an honor. And if you ever want to talk to me in person, you can contact me on my social media, Maya the Drag Queen.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
you are now.
Thank you so much for joining us. And it was a privilege, hosting you, having you here, because we know how busy you are. And at that time, I mean, taking out time from your busy schedule, that's a big thing. Thank you so much on behalf of the whole foundation family. Hoping
Anytime.
to
Thank
have
you so
you
much.
in person super soon.
Yes, and hope all of you will see me perform sometimes.
Sure. It'll be a privilege again. I mean, looking forward. Thank you.
Okay, bye everyone. Bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.